In question 25, we're told that the hormonal and nervous systems are often compared because of their similar roles in the body, and we'll have 5 statements here which we have to assess whether they're true or false in relation to these systems. Let's have a look at 1, which says that the nervous system relies on electrical impulses in order to work. Well, by and large, the nervous system does use electrical impulses, which are of course generated by electrochemical potentials, but we'll come to that. That's a detail that we don't need to consider. The thing that we need to consider is the fact that there's chemical transmission across synapses, which proves that the nervous system is not a purely electrical system, it also involves chemicals, in this case neurotransmitters, which diffuse across synapses. Moving on to 2, we're told that both the hormonal and nervous systems activate target structures. Well, we know this to be true in the case of the nervous system, which targets, in the case of neurotransmitters, which target neurotransmitter receptors on the postsynaptic neuron, which enables the impulse to be transmitted across the synapse. A very similar effect happens in the case of hormones, where hormones bind to particular receptors, which may be on the surface of or even inside cells, and that mediates certain effects. So yes, they do target certain structures and activate them. Moving on to 3, we're told that the fastest responses are produced by the nervous system. Well, we know this to be true, since the nervous system, for instance, includes reflex arcs, and reflex arcs involve the transmission of information at many meters per second. Compare that to hormones, which mediate much slower effects. For instance, the progressive development of secondary sexual characteristics by testosterone and estrogen, which can happen over a number of years. Moving on to 4, we're told that only the hormonal system relies on the activity of chemicals. Well, since we've talked about chemical transmission in the nervous system, we can say this is false. And finally, in the case of 5, we're told that parts of the hormonal system may be controlled by the central nervous system. Now, we know this to be true by citing the hypothalamus and the pituitary. For instance, the pituitary produces ADH, which is a hormone which regulates water levels in the body. Okay, so obviously there is a link between the pituitary, which is intimately tied to the hypothalamus, which is a part of the brain, and that provides a link between the central nervous system, including the brain, and the endocrine system, which the pituitary gland is a part of. So we can say our answer is that 2, 3 and 5 are correct, therefore our answer is option E.